All right, Saturday, day before the Super Bowl, we're going to do another brew. We just did a Brew Wednesday. We're going to start out with this is going to be a rye beer. It's going to get a beta-glucan rest at 110 degrees, and then a protein rest for 30 minutes, each for 30 minutes at 130 degrees. And then we're going to go for saccharification at 155 degrees, right in that range there. And we're going to probably have to do a mash out for the first time. And we're going to end up with a stuck sparge, a stuck mash tun. We're going to go with 2 pounds of rye, malted rye, to see what happens here. So that's what we got right here in measured out here, 2 pounds, 0.1, no big difference. We're going to throw that into the. I had to adjust the mill for a better crush, because that's just what you got to do when you do this. So we'll get back to you when we start the protein rest. It's in a bag and on the stove in a kettle. This time we're going to do it that way so we don't get a stuck mash tun. So my temperature's up here right now to 110. I want to be at 110, 111. Really doubt the camera's going to pick that up, but so yeah, it's a totally different brew. And here's our strike water. I got to do another measurement to make up the difference to go into the mash tun, because well, I got a graduating mark in there to show how deep it is for 7, 8, 9, 10 gallons. So we'll get back to you when we get to that process. So yeah, this is brew number 43. It's going to be a red eye rye high IPA. I ground up in the bag here. The temperature's at 110, 111, right where I want to be. This is for the beta-glucan rest. And I'll set the bag right in a kettle, and we'll stir this up in a minute. I'm going to have to get the gauge out of the way. Get that out of our way. This bag has made many brews for me. All right, gauge back in. Hopefully without poking a hole in the bag. I got the burner on. The temperature is going to drop there a little bit. The vineyard's a big mess today, so I'm going to stir this up slowly. Oh boy, the gauge wants to fall right out on me again. Just to get an idea that our temperature's right on the money here. Okay, the burner's going to go off. I don't want the bag to fall in there. So we're at 110 degrees. First I'm going to stir that up, make sure the grains aren't just in a big dough ball out there. Okay. There we go. And the idea is to get this here done. It's in 30 minutes at this temperature, 30 minutes, like I said, the beta-glucan rest here is at 30 minutes at 110. That's right where we're at right now. And the other protein rest will be at 130 degrees. And then we get all the strike water in the mash tun with the other grains. We get that up to the saccharification of about 155 for the hour. Okay, we ordered. I added a pound of flaked rice also to this beta-glucan rest. It's been 30 minutes here. We're ready to come from 110. Let's see if the gauge is picking that up. It just dropped because I'm holding it in my hand. But it's actually at 110. And in 5 minutes, I cranked this up to 130. My strike water's at 160. We're going to go with 165 into the mash tun at that time. All the grains are, rest of the grains are ground. And we're ready to rock here. It's just a matter of time. In fact, it's time I can take this temperature up to the 130 range. So let's get that burner on. Try to take it up slowly because I don't want to burn the grain. So I'll turn it on low. And yeah, it's time to go for the next 30-minute rest here. Once this gets up to 130 degrees, we're going for 130 this time. So I'll stir it slowly. This gauge don't want to stay in there for me. And like I say, the rest of the grains are ready to go into the mash tun. The mash tun is pre-warming with some warm water in it. This is a game to get the temperature right with this type of brew. So we did the beta glucan rest for 30 minutes at 110. So now we're going to increase it to 130 for the protein rest. And then she'll go into the mash tun with the rest of the grains for the saccharification. 1 hour rest mash. And that's the way this brew goes. We'll get back to you at that stage. Okay, we just dough'd in here. And we're going with the 154 degree temp. That's what it looks like. I should show you. Oops. Got that thing in the way here. 154 degrees. And I got the rest of the rye in the bag here. And we're at 154 saccharification for 1 hour. So we'll let that do its thing. Big air bubble there now. So yeah, it's doing its thing. We'll let it mash for 1 hour now. And then on to the verloft, which is going to be a slow. I hope we're not too stuck on the mash tun, but that's it for the, I think we're going to go with my homegrown hops, the 2017 season. I've already used the 2016. They're all gone. So I'm thinking of using my cascades from 2017 season. Maybe go with 5-6 ounces. I got to build a bag for them because I don't want them on the bottom of the brew kettle sucking up in my my transfer wand there. But otherwise, yeah, this one here is going. This beer here is cooking really nice. Really, really nice. I actually forget what I named that one. Oh, that's the infamy. I made another infamy. That's why I forgot the name. It's easy to forget when you spill it all over the floor and you waste it. But that's the same recipe, the infamy beer. It's a good tasting beer. So we're at 140. Let's see, 145 we finished temperature-wise. Not too bad. Not too bad. A little lower than I would have wanted, but that happens from time to time. Wow. So we'll get this run off here in the thing and stick it back into the mash tun. I get her in the boil kettle and we'll be boiling this in, within maybe 15 minutes. Depends on the settling of the grain bed here. I'll stop it right there. Stick her back in there. At the spoon. Of course, I'm spilling it right on top of that bag, so screwing up the grain bed is not going to really happen that much. I'll take a smell of this.
Smells delicious.
It smells really good. So we're taking the hops, 2017 hops. Get out of there. Look at those babies, frozen. Get 6 ounces in here. They're falling on the floor. 6 ounces of hops in there. So they're going to go in the boil kettle as soon as we get to a boil. Alright, the RYE brew with the homemade hops, homegrown hops. We're going to set those in there right now. And we hope they settle in there because it's going to act as a cover. And it's going to want to boil over. So we're going to turn that down a little bit more, until those hops get in there, and we'll crank it back up. Yeah, because it acts as a cover, and it's just going to want to overflow. I'm going to let that absorb for a little while. That's 6 ounces of homegrown cascades. We grow out here on the vines here. We get, I forget what I said last year, almost a pound and a half, which is quite a bit in the leaf hop world. There she goes, wants to overflow. Turning it down even lower. I should have showed that. It just came right up to the top. The hot break was crazy. There it is again. No, she's going to come over if I'm not careful. I'll have to let that soak in a few minutes. So yeah, we're going to do, I think, one addition. I don't think I'm going to do 2 additions this time. We're down to the last 15 minutes. And this recipe calls for some honey. It's a honey rye. So in goes the honey. I don't think I'm going to give it all of it. So we'll take a sample here and see what we come up to. We started at, what was it, 1052? Originally 1052? Alright. That's a hot. Take the sample over. Get it on our thing here. Flip her on down. And our new reading here is now 1065. Isn't that wonderful? Life begins at 1060. 1065. Beautiful. That's a little after the honey. So yeah, flame out here in a few seconds. Get the wort chiller hooked up. Now we're cleaning the O-ring here. I got the wort chiller into the wort. We're draining the bucket, the fermenter now of the sanitizer. I usually turn the valve like that a couple times. How you doing? And we got the gauge going here. We're down to 140 already and dropping fast. Of course, Lake Erie water is really cold this time of year. It's a benefit of brewing in this area. She's cooling down. She's doing good. We're going to use the T58 yeast again that I just used on the Infamy beer. If you want to write that down there, write T58. Saf brew. Oh, I got hiccups. So yeah, we get this down there, get the cover on, give it a shake. Oh man. The temperature's dropping quick. I need the scissors. And then we'll be pitching the yeast. I like to sanitize those too. There we go, a little bit. So yep, in the fermenter very shortly. Forgot one of the most important parts here. When you're brewing your home brew, you got to have a home brew. This is a KB for candy brown we made, I don't know, a while back. So we're going to have one of these here, candy browns. Oh, isn't that a beauty? That is a beautiful beer. So I got to get back to the fermenter here shortly. The temperature is 110, dropping fast. But Proust. This beer is a delicious beer. Oh yeah. That is a good beer. And a high dose under the bed. Really, to be honest, it's a little trub and about that glass full. Is it okay? So here, yeah. So here we go, pitching the, I dipped the yeast package in the sanitizer and the scissors. And here's the pitching of the yeast. It's nothing more than just sprinkling it on the top like this. So-called evenly, it doesn't matter. A lot of guys got to stir it up and put air into it. You're just risking more infection if you're going to do that. I've never had a bad batch or anything because not giving it air. It's a gimmick as far as I'm concerned. A gimmick. Now I put in a an airlock in here somewhere. Right there. There we go. That batch is officially in the fermenter, and she'll be bubbling in, I don't know, this type of yeast, 8 hours. I'll see fermentation with this type of yeast. So there you have it. Let me slide this over to my, shouldn't move that.
I just turned it back.
You shouldn't do that. You stir up the yeast.
No, I was very, very careful.
Okay, I'm going to lift this up there very carefully because I got no bad back no more. Thank you, Lord Jesus. And that one's woo-hoo, on the shelf. So Infamy, made Wednesday right here. And RYE, made Saturday. Wednesday, homebrew Wednesday, homebrew Saturday. How you doing? Not a mess to clean up. Not before we finish one of these beers. Now the nice thing about putting your hops in a bag is you'll notice how much trub here I got in here. Why don't I just dump this in the sink, let you see it quick. Let me see if the camera picks that up. A few pieces of hops and that's it. That's a clean brew. So yeah, we're gonna just give this one little rinse quick. With water. And we'll do a cleanup a little later. But now we gotta sit down and enjoy a home brew because we have earned it. Proust.